How you guys doing? It's 514 Mystic from bookiebullies.com, and this is Breaking Down the Books. Today, we got a short show for you guys, but just before I go there, I want to give a big shout out to the Washington Nationals for not only helping us cash and cash big, but covering us for some of the losses that we might have suffered over the week. And if you guys been following, you guys have them to win the World Series in that series, paying 3-1 or more, or a little bit less than 3 if you guys followed from the beginning of the series. Now, before we go too far, I'd like you guys to go ahead and smash that like button, share, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell so you get updated anytime that I post these videos. Another thing I want to do is just go down the list of the picks that I gave you guys yesterday. And minor correction, on Twitter I posted that the Knicks covered, which they didn't, and I corrected it on Twitter. But I didn't delete the tweet, but I did add the correction in the messages. But anyways, I gave you guys as far as it goes, I give you guys the Minnesota versus St. Louis game in NHL under 5.5. That did not hit. That was our only failure for hockey. Gave you Vancouver minus 1.5, which was the biggest payout of the night. If you guys singled that out, you guys are very happy people right now. Gave you Montreal versus Arizona under 6. That also hit. In the MLB, like I just mentioned, gave you the Washington Nationals money line. And if you followed from the beginning of the show, you got them winning the World Series, and I was paying a handsome amount also. In basketball, I'm going to have to do better. I went 1 of 5 in basketball. Cleveland, which was a underdog, a 2-1 underdog, they ended up hitting. I gave you Philly versus Minnesota under 225, under 222, over 222.5. That did not hit. Give you the Knicks plus 9.5, they lost by 12. Brooklyn and Milwaukee minus 3.5, neither of those teams won. They lost flat out, and then I gave you guys the Houston Rockets minus 8.0, and that was the third highest scoring game in NBA history, but ended up finishing at 159 to 158 for a horrible loss and a horrible day in basketball, horrible week in basketball. I've been getting good wins as far as props go and stuff like that, but my picks have been absolutely horrible. I'm gonna have to change that. Moving along, we got some hockey today. Short slate of NHL, starting with the Calgary Flames versus the Nashville Predators. Nashville favorite, totals at 6.0, and Nashville are heavy favorite, and they actually played last night, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. They're gonna be starting Pecorine on at net. Sorry, Nashville did not play yesterday. They played a couple days ago. It just feels like yesterday, but they played a couple days ago. So they're minorly rested. And so is Calgary. Both teams played day before yesterday. And Nashville is starting Pecorine. And you got Calgary who's starting Riddich. Riddich is sporting a 2.86 goal against average with a 91% save percentage. And Pecorine is 7-0 on the season. Very good record with a 1.74 goal against average and 9.37. I like the under in this game, just going off of pure numbers as far as the goalies go. The last time these two teams seen each other was actually last year. It's pretty much the same teams outside of a couple trades and a couple additions to each team, but it's pretty much the same core here. Last time they seen each other, Calgary actually ended up beating Nashville in a 5-2 routing, and that under was basically shattered by a point 0.5. Or, well, a point 0.5 is a 6.5. In this case, it's a 6.0. Calgary hasn't been playing that good this year. I'm not convinced that they're going to be able to do anything better than they have been doing recently, especially not against a Nashville team who's been pretty much keeping up the pace, and they've been trying to not play to the like I like to shit on Nashville for not playing to their I like to shit on Nashville for playing to their opponents' capabilities, and they've been doing a very good job at trying to prove me wrong, but not good enough. So I don't like a pick in this game per se. Nashville's actually 4-1 at the spread in their last 5 games, 4-1 straight up. Over's gone over in 8 of their last 12, and when they play versus Calgary at home, their 4 out of the last 6 went under. Calgary, in their own respects, are 2-4 at the spread, 2-4 straight up, not very good at all. Their last 4 out of 6 games went under, and they're 5-1 at the spread in the last 6 games when playing on the road against Nashville. So on the road, they don't seem to be doing that bad against Nashville. If you really like, you could go ahead and pick a plus 1.5 for Calgary, but I don't like a pick in this game. If I had to pick something, I would go with the under, but I'm a little bit skeptical about it, so I'm gonna skip this game altogether. Next, we got the Montreal Canadiens versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Montreal coming off of a big win yesterday over the Arizona Coyotes, and Vegas been rested. Vegas haven't had a game in a while, and Vegas is going to be home. Fleury gets the start. Kincaid is expected to play, although I believe they might end up putting Price because he didn't suffer too many shots on goal last night with a 4-1 victory. And it's going to be interesting because Kincaid hasn't even gotten a game under his belt yet. So he's still, Kincaid actually has one overtime loss and one regular time loss. So that's gonna be it's gonna be crazy to see. Vegas is 2-5 at the spread in the last 7 games. So if you're interested in putting them to cover against Montreal, that's not necessarily a good idea. But they are, however, 4-2 straight up in the last 6 games. So that's something to look out for. Montreal on their end are 5-1 at the spread in the last 5 games, 4-2 straight up. They're 5-0 at the spread in the last 5 games on the road. Give me Montreal today. I don't mind. I don't mind taking that L with Kincaid on the in between the pipes. Honestly, I like their chances. They've been rolling, and Vegas might. Although Vegas, again, this is a very unpopular pick. I'm not giving you this because I think I'm giving you this because I think it's gonna be. It's not only is it high paying, but they're like how could I put this? They played just yesterday. Their guys are riled up over all the victories they've been getting, all the wins they've been getting. They shoot a shit ton of shots on goal. So does Vegas. I think it's gonna be an upset here tonight. I think Fleury gets upset, and I think Montreal's gonna be able to keep up the pace with Vegas. Vegas averages about 40 shots on goal. Montreal averages about 40 shots on goal. The difference here is Montreal allows a lot more shots on goal than Vegas does. That's the only difference in this situation. But I like Montreal here as an underdog. You don't necessarily have to quote me on that. I lean Montreal. I also lean on the over, but I would much rather bet the under. But I'm not gonna pick either of that. I'm just gonna roll with Montreal straight win and call it a day. Live with the results. Put that as a single bet. Please don't parlay that with anything. If you guys are interested, please do not. This is just my personal pick. It's not. It has nothing to do with me being in the city. It has nothing to do with any of that stuff. It's honestly, I really feel today that Montreal has a better edge than Vegas does when it comes to winning this game. Yes, Vegas is starting Fleury. Fleury has been remarkable, but I think Kincaid gets his first game today. He hasn't got a game since he had that remarkable save um, against shoot. I feel like it was the Blues where he ended up robbing the Blues. Basically, he has the highlight reel of the season so far. So as far as goalies go, not goals, but as far as goalies go, I think he has the highlight of the season right now. And anyways, that's pretty much it. Moving along, we got the NFL. We got San Fran versus Arizona, where we got Kyler Murray, the rookie, versus Jimmy Garoppolo. The favorite is San Fran, the road favorite at 10.0 favorite. The total is at 43.5. Just to give you guys some quick stats, uh, San Fran only San Fran covered every spread except for one. They're 7-0 right now, and they've covered every spread at the exception of one. They've covered 5 out of 1 spreads as road dogs, and they're undefeated. They're playing against a rookie. They have the number one defense in the league. I would hate to bet against San Fran, but I'd much rather go with the under in this game, under 43.5, so they would limit the rookie from getting any shots, any touchdowns. He's probably going to try to run. I doubt it because they're probably going to be playing from behind. And when I talk about they're going to try to run, I'm pretty much talking about Kyler Murray. But I doubt it because, like I said, number one defense in the league. I like the under in this game. If you could buy some points, it'd be great. I don't like the spread. I feel like Arizona's been doing a great job at upsetting teams and not covering. Like yeah, they're basically in the middle as far as balancing spreads and stuff. If you're not betting with San Fran, don't bet at all. I'm gonna give you guys the under in this game. Gonna move along to basketball where we also have a short slate. We only got 3 games in basketball where we got the Miami Heat versus the Atlanta Hawks. Miami Heat's favorite 6.5, totals at 215. And there's still no Trey Young. Trey Young avoided going through an MRI. And off of that ankle injury in the last time that they seen each other, Miami struggled to win that game. But I feel like Atlanta was playing with a little bit more fire because they were trying to hold down the lead. So not the lead, but they were trying to hold down the game so that they don't get completely blown out with the loss of their compadre. But give me Miami to cover as the road dog today, minus 6.5. I'm gonna live with the results. I think Jimmy Butler being back in the lineup, being acclimated to his team now, I think that's gonna be a good look. And I like Miami here today. If anything, you could also go with the under. I'm not giving the under, but it might be a good pick if you guys are into that. 215 is a lot, and since there's no Trey Young, there's very little pace right now. There's a lot more bricks right now. There's a lot less threes right now. I would like the under, but I fear that Miami might be able to do it by themselves. So I lean under, but I'm not going to give it as a pick. We got Denver versus New Orleans. Last time we saw Denver, they ended up blowing a lead themselves, losing the game flat out. Last time I saw New Orleans, they played Golden State and got blown out by 30. So that's not necessarily a good thing. Just as a quick rundown, we could go ahead and check to see if Drew Holiday is still injured. I believe he is, but he might not be. If you guys give me a quick second here, I'm just going to make sure. Brandon Ingram's been playing out of control. He's been ridiculous. I mean, honestly, Brandon Ingram is the go-to guy on this team right now. Drew Holiday, as of right now, is out, but uh, again, we're talking about vocabulary here. He's deemed probable, so he's probably gonna play, but I'm not banking on probables. And again, last time we saw Denver, they weren't overly impressive. The spread is a 4.0, and I've noticed that 3.5s, 3.0s, and 4.0s have been a little bit sketch. So I would probably stay away from this game and just go with the over because I don't like back in Denver when they're on the road. So I would pick the over in this game and live with the results. Next we got San Antonio versus the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard got some rest, and this is why. He got some rest the last time they played because, and this was yesterday, he got the rest because they were going to play the Spurs. And he wants to be available when he plays the Spurs on his new team. He faced the Spurs last year since leaving, played with Toronto, and I think he wants to see the Spurs again this year. I like Clippers to win here. I don't think the Spurs are. I don't think the Spurs are it. I fear for their safety. I fear for their security. Give me the Spurs. Give me the Clippers minus 4.5 to cover that spread after their loss to the Utah Jazz. And that's pretty much it for me. I'd like you guys to go ahead and smash that like button, share, subscribe, let your friends know what we're doing here. We're giving out free picks. Yesterday I went 4 of 10, which is not very good. And it is what it is. I know there's guys out there fading me with the basketball, and you're cashing. If you're fading me, you're cashing, man. And yeah, I mean, eat it as much as you can because it's not going to be happening for very long. I'm telling you guys right now, like, you know what I mean? I've been killing the hockey. We did very good in the baseball. Unfortunately, the baseball season is over. It's going to be back upon us in about March. So look forward to that. And right now we got some football, we got basketball, we got hockey. So we got some action going on. We got MMA going down this weekend. I'm gonna make a show for you guys either again tonight or tomorrow, just to give you guys the heads up on what's going on. And I'm gonna give you the Bookie Bullies rundown to show you what I got for the night. Starting with the top, Montreal Canadiens straight win. I'm not going with the plus 1.5. I'm giving you guys Montreal Canadiens money line to beat the Vegas Golden Knights for the biggest upset of the night. Giving you guys the under 43.5 in the 49ers versus Arizona game. Giving you guys the Miami Heat minus 6.5 to cover against the Atlanta Hawks. Giving you guys the over in the Denver versus Pelicans game. I'm giving you the Clippers minus 4.5 to win versus the Spurs. That's it for me. Be a well to wall. Like I say all the time, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Please do not bet what you can't afford to lose. Be safe, be good. I'll see you again tomorrow.